to the Random Guy Podcast. It's Tuesday, February 18th. Tuesdays around here are Troll Tuesdays. All trolls are welcome. Funny trolls. Stupid trolls. Everybody's welcome here. Bring your best day game, trolls. Let's see what you got.
That's a Bloomberg Business Flash. Now here's John Tucker with more on what's going on.
You'll try to trip me up.
Good morning, Karen. Talks now underway in Saudi.
This is the Random Guy Podcast. I'm a random guy you just came across. My name is Stan. Good morning, Solid Tank. How are you, my friend?
The acting head of the Social Security Administration resigned over the weekend. It follows a dispute
Solid
with
Tank.
government efficiency team.
I'm going to add you as a moderator. You've been chill with me for a while, so I appreciate that. Juan, good morning, my friend.
In hockey at the Four Nations face-off, it's going to be a rematch. The U.S. and Canada will face off Thursday night in Boston for the championship.
Thursday night in Boston, USA, Canada.
While Canada beat Finland. Global news, 24 hours a day, whenever you want it, with Bloomberg News Now. I'm John Tucker, and this is Bloomberg.
Now, a look at the front pages.
The front pages, ladies and gentlemen.
Your daily roundup of today's headlines from major publications.
Coming up to 5:24 on Wall Street, I'm Nathan Hager with Karen Moscow, checking the front pages live on this Tuesday morning with Bloomberg's
Mayor Adams on New York Post. Nobody cares.
Story on U.S. banks and how they're scaling back DEI efforts. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nathan. So they're worried that taping them would open them up to some legal risks.
Got my morning coffee, guys.
Executive order last month.
I didn't forget my lunch. I got my salad here.
Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan,
Got chicken and bacon Caesar salad, guys.
Changing the language around efforts to support diversity.
I'm a fat bastard. I gotta lose some weight. Hey, Green Thing. Good morning, honey. How are you?
Activated a link for a college scholarship recruiting program on its website for, quote, historically underrepresented in the financial services industry. So sources are saying they're working. They may change it to those in economic need instead. Then you have JP Morgan. They released an annual report that had a different tone about their DEI from the previous year. And then Citi, they removed promotional materials on this program that gives transgender, non-binary customers an option
Listen to
to
this.
credit cards with the names that they identify with.
All these big firms are getting rid of the DEI shit they had.
Walmart, even tech giants, Meta Platforms, Alphabet's, Google.
That's how these companies roll, guys. They just conform with whatever is the flavor of the day. You know, when the shit's being pushed by the Biden administration, they're all in. When Trump's dodging it, getting rid of it, they're out. You know, they don't care. There's no loyalty to one or any other party with giant corporations. They're all in it for the money, guys.
Investors, including existing backers like Microsoft and SoftBank. But you know, this comes as a company fends off that unsolicited takeover bid from Elon Musk. OpenAI executives say that shift for a for-profit company that could allow it to receive billions of dollars of more investments, potentially unlock bigger returns.
OpenAI, Musk is making a bid for it.
To raise $40 billion from an investment group that was led by SoftBank at a valuation of about $260 billion.
And I see the Washington Post has caught on to this story, Lisa. Mexico threatening to sue Google over the Gulf of America change.
Yeah, this was during a news conference yesterday. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said a lot of the body of water lies outside U.S. maritime borders.
Whichever way the wind blows, exactly, my friend.
And Cuba. So she says President Trump's executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico
Martin,
the Gulf of America applied only to
Gospodin.
the continental shelf. So
how are you, my friend?
Said last week, you remember that Mexico was
So I'm hearing that Trump and Vlad Putin had a phone call yesterday, and they're going to meet somewhere. That's good news. They'll probably cut a deal. They'll meet somewhere in the middle, you know, in Iceland or someplace. And hopefully they'll cut a deal and end that stupid war that you guys are doing.
Their normal operating procedures. And then Mexico then wrote a letter to Google explaining that under these international maritime laws, a country's sovereignty over its territorial sea extends to a maximum of 12 nautical miles. So it's really this back and forth, guys. All right, Lisa Mateo, thanks so much.
I think there is drilling in the Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico. I know there's off the American coast. There are oil rigs.
Resignations from President Trump's government efficiency drive.
Ukraine-Russia war.
News on a day when S&P futures are up 0.25%, Dow futures are little changed, and Nasdaq futures.
Yeah, so that's the morning news there, guys, with the Bloomberg Radio. So I did a quick check here with the news here in the New York Post. You know, well, the big story is that New York City Mayor Eric Adams is on the ropes, and looks like he's going to have to resign. I think. I mean, his deputies are all resigning, so the pressure is on that dude to resign. We got a beautiful woman here on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, right here, guys. Hopefully, it's a real woman. We'll see. And then one other thing I just wanted to mention here before I get to my topic. There's a German deli closing in Queens right here on March 1st, so only a couple weeks away, not even. It's called Zum Stammtisch, Bavarian Beer Hall. Closing its doors March 1st, after 14 years. Here's what it looks like right here, guys. You can see it. That's it right there. You got the beer frau, delivering the beers. So, yeah. Went to the doctor yesterday, guys. I've had a persistent cough for about 2 weeks, and was diagnosed with post-viral bronchitis, so I got some cough medication. I just took a couple of those, and they'll kick in a little bit. Do a backflip. I can't, my friend. I'm in the car. I'm sorry, crazy kid, but that's a nice troll. Thank you. Let's see what else is happening here. We got a fish, dude. Trump's gonna get it fixed. No more war. Yeah, man. You got. Ukraine may not like it, but I think what probably should happen is Crimea should stay with Russia, and those 2 or 3 eastern provinces right on the Russian border should probably be Russian now. And Zelensky, he had a nice grift going on. Lick his wounds and go home and count his money, that he made on this shindig. But what's left of Ukraine, they can certainly, if this money that was sent to them was actually used for proper purposes, they should be able to rebuild with no problem. But you know how money goes; it doesn't go where it's supposed to. No more people dying in the streets because of stupid war. Yeah. Yeah, somebody, who's the writer that wrote, when the rich wage war, it's the poor who die. I mean, that's a truer sentence that's never been written. Jean Sartre, I think, wrote that. When the rich wage war, it's the poor who die. I mean, that happens every time, man. Our Trump say last week they might meet in Saudi Arabia. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Can you give a shout out to my friend Mike Oxymol? Hello, Mike. Good morning. Kara. You so old. Yes, I'm very old, Kara. I'm old enough to be your grandfather, probably, Kara. Seriously. Russia's keeping all of it. Yeah, they should. I mean, they've lost how many men? This was the buffer zone that they wanted all along. They didn't want NATO. Probably no NATO in Ukraine at all. Would be I think Putin would sign that right on the dotted line. If they do that. Kara, I look 50 years old. Oh, No, that's too bad. I took you for like a teenager, Kara, the way you came at me. And we should be reimbursed for some of Ukraine's rare earth minerals. Well, look, I mean, let them keep what they have. I mean, they have the breadbasket of Europe there, I think, on the western side. You know, where the there's a lot of that's their the resources. They could exploit their own resources. Russia has 7 time zones end to end, guys. 7. Imagine that. They're fucking huge. Only they don't have the population to properly exploit their mineral resources. So end that stupid war and move forward. Solid tank. I hope the dying stops. This war has been horrible. Yes. Americans don't realize how much of a class struggle we're in. The rich don't care about the working class. And we'll continue to exploit the working class until we're all dead. I agree. The post World War II boom kind of created the middle class here in the United States, I think, where they had the large boomer population that I'm a part of, born from 1946 to 1964. Us boomers, and we got the best of America, post-war. Everything was a father could work, a mother could stay home. They could have 2 kids, a car, and everything would be fine. And for many years it was. But then, inflation started to catch up, and the value of the dollar just fell off a cliff after Nixon took us off the gold standard. Early 70s, 71, I think. It's just horrible now for young people. I feel bad for my kids and my granddaughter. They're going to have to live with what's left of this country. Kara, how old are you? I'm 60 years old. I'm going to be 61 in a few weeks. Actually, in a few days. What am I saying? I'll be 61, yeah. When are you going to die? I don't know. I could die tomorrow. Tomorrow's never guaranteed for any of us, Kara. And we're all, you, me, everybody here, we're all one day closer to death today than we were yesterday. No, nothing is guaranteed to anybody. When your time is up, your time is up. I hope at this stage that I have another 25 years of relative health. If I make it to 85, 86, something like that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'm retiring next year. I'm using the next 25 years to refocus my energy into living life, traveling, real estate investing, stock investing, surviving the inflationary spiral that's eating away at the dollar. You've got to do your own thing. You've got to make your own money aside from Social Security. And I think the generations here in the United States, the boomer generation, by and large, they all got pensions on top of Social Security. I have a pension. My first job out of college, I qualified for a pension. Now, it's not a lot, but it's a pension, and I could start collecting at age 65. So it'll help. It's actually encouraged me to retire earlier than I want. I wanted to keep working till 65, but my parents are deteriorating mentally and physically, and I need to be there for them as their caretaker. And so it's becoming a full-time job in its own right. And so I decided to retire at age 62 next year. Take care of me, Daddy. Well, no, thank you. I have a beautiful woman. I'm all set, Kara. But thank you for the comment. Rand Paul asked Doggy to auto Federal Reserve. Hopefully there's some gold left. I think that, excuse me, last I heard was that Fort Knox was completely empty. But these large countries have been reacquiring large stockpiles of gold. You know, even Russia has been doing that. And so hopefully, the United States under Biden was doing that. We'll see. I mean, Doggy, I think, is a good thing. As long as they take this money they find and use it for proper purposes, and they don't reshuffle it into their own pockets. That's the big picture that needs to happen for this to be worthwhile. Because whether it's this misapplied money's going to corporations or whatever, you want the money properly spent. You want infrastructure to be good. You want Social Security to be solid. And certainly I think this country could do better with health care for all its citizens. They certainly could do better than that, than Medicare, Medicaid that they have now for the old ages. My parents don't have any dental coverage. And they have parts A, B, D, and F or something. They're on top of their Medicare that they get from the government. They are paying something like $600 or $700 a month each for these additional coverages. Most of that stuff covers their medications, and it seems like what happens here in this country is that you work all your life till you can't work no more, and then you get on this retirement where you sit around and you try to stay alive by doing this medication and that, keeping the pharmaceuticals in business. I don't want to do that. I'm not on. The only medication I have are my eye drops. If I develop some chronic health problem that's gonna be cost prohibitive, I'm just gonna elect to live out the rest of my life as God wants me to. I'm not gonna give the pharmaceuticals my dime. We didn't waste so much money on government pork sending money all over the world. We could have a better for our own people. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That senile old fucker didn't even refill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve after he raided it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But he's gone. He's out in La La Land over there, sitting on the beach in Delaware. Or, he's walking around with his metal detector looking for quarters. So just, leave that old bastard alone. Come on, trolls. Where are you guys? I want to get into my topic. I'm going to give you like another couple minutes here. Come and try to troll me. It's Troll Tuesday. Trolls are welcome. Funny trolls especially. Guys, if you're on YouTube, you got to work with the trolls. I'm a small channel. I got like 1,000, 1,500 subscribers. Not a lot. I'm not monetized. I don't want to be monetized. And, trolls are part of the game here, especially on live streams. You got people come in and they try to troll you. But you got to stay, you got to stay ahead of them. I had trolls that would come in and spam, same shit over and over and over. That's weak, Say your say one time. Let me read it. Don't be all over the place. I mean, that's like, that shows me that you're retarded, and that you need to be put in the timeout tard corral, as I call it. We put you in a 24-hour timeout, let you calm down, and then you can come back tomorrow. But I don't see too many trolls. I think they're all sleeping still. It's early for them. They don't work. They're still sleeping. They'll probably be sleeping till about 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Nice kickbacks. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. And you know what, Putty Cat? We got to hold Trump's feet to the fire too. You know, you got to keep him honest. You know, he's no different than these other people. He's talking to talk. He's a salesman. You know, But in the end, Trump is always about Trump. You know, so you got to keep him honest. Most of the trolls wait for MMD to go live. Yeah, probably. I don't know if I'll be able to be on there today. Probably not. I've got the train going by. I got 3 hearings I got to do this afternoon. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. And so I gotta read up on my packets on that stuff, make sure I know what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna be in the office working, you know, pretty much lights out from 6 a.m. to about 11. And then I'll probably have my lunch, I'll have my salad, and I'll head out and do my hearings. Q, Core says, are you dating Michael? No. Did you screw the blood elf after pizza date stand? No, I did not. That was a good stream. Yeah, I mean, I took her out to pizza a couple times. You know, and that's a good segue into what I really wanted to talk about. The topic, you know, the land of the lost. YouTube being the land of the lost. And if you saw in the thumbnail, there's like a guy and his kid, and they're fighting off these reptile things. And that comes from a show called The Land of the Lost. That was it was like a Saturday morning show when I was a kid, like in the mid 70s, I think 1974 to 76. It ran for like 3 seasons on Saturday morning TV. And what the premise of the show was, you know, a father, a son, and a daughter were on a rafting trip, and they went over waterfalls, and you know they survived, and they ended up in this land of the lost, and they had these creatures roaming around. It was like an old city, and they had these creatures roaming around with, you know, jungle all around it and shit. They had these reptile, insect-like creatures, and they called them slee stacks, and those are the creatures you see in the thumbnail. And these creatures were just they were very terrified to venture outside of their city. You know, they would, if they did venture outside of the city, many times they wouldn't return. And, you know, so they had these slee stacks. They were prone to violence. They were, you know, they were certainly on the evolutionary scale well below the normal humans. And then I remember there was like little ape-like creatures too. There was like this little boy who he wore a fursuit and he was running around. That was a different type of creature in that show. I forgot what they called them. But the slee stacks were interesting because they interacted with the humans, and they had some limited technology. You know, they had like slingshots and things like that. You know, the thing that struck me was that they were afraid to leave that little town that they were in, the city, the lost city, and you know, and they raised havoc there. They were there, and so it kind of reminds me of these people on YouTube that are shut-ins. You know, they're you know, they live in trailer parks. They're retired. They're medically disabled, or you know, and you know, they have mental issues. You know, they don't have real world friends. A lot of these people, the only friends they have are online friends they make online. You know, they have they become part of groups that go out and troll people, harass people. You know, they call the cops on people. Sometimes that's called swatting. You know, some of the ones with a little more cash, you know, will occasionally order a pizza, and you know, that's as long as they're paying for the pizza, that's kind of a fun troll. But a lot of times over the past couple of years, at least, I think the trolling has gotten way out of hand, where they attack family members of other YouTubers. You know, they find a Facebook picture of a child or something, and they mess around with these things, and it's just it's in poor taste, and it's probably criminal what many of these people are doing. It really is. But you know, these people reminded me of these sleaze stacks. You know, they're very marginal, low IQ, most of them, and you know, just living a pathetic existence, afraid to leave the YouTube universe. You know, they're afraid to shut the fucking computer and go walk around the block and say hello to their real neighbors, because they're online all constantly fucking with people. So you know, this YouTube in 2025 kind of reminds me of that show. You got a few normal people trying to do a show, trying to do a channel, and a lot of times they have to deal with these fucktards, the sleaze stacks. That's what YouTube has become now in 2025, guys. Yeah, I watched that show. I was like 1976 shit. I was what? I was like 12 years old already. I was, you know, I wasn't watching that many cartoons. I remember when it first came on in '74. You know, I watched a few episodes. I didn't realize it ran for 3 years, but I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it actually ran for 3 years. And then it was rerun on I think it started out on NBC, and then like years later CBS reran it, and so forth. So it has some like cult following to it, and I think they made a movie out of it like maybe 10 years ago, The Land of the Lost. I think Will Ferrell might have been in that movie. I'm not sure, but it does have some following to it. But the dealing with the trolls and the out of control trolls, the vicious, malicious trolls, just reminded me of that show where the people just, you know, they're lost, trying to get home, and they're dealing with these fucktards all the time, the sleaze stacks. So that's kind of what YouTube has devolved into these days. Showing up at people's houses. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. MMD used to have a lot of trolls. Yeah. Yeah, she did. She did. She still does. People still troll her, but not as bad as it was in years past. I think Noodles gets a fair amount too. Yeah. Yeah. I think Noodles plays the trolls though. You know, I don't know if he's kind of worn out by it because he's been trolled so hard for years, but he trolled people too. You know, I've only known him the last couple years or 3 years maybe that he's been coming around the Michelle's channel. So I don't really know him. I met him twice very briefly while he was over at Michelle's. Basically, hey, how are you? Shook his hand. You know, like 2-3 minutes each time. So I don't really know the man at all, other than what I see online. And so is what he does real? I don't know. Does he have a girl that's pregnant? I don't know. Is it scripted? I don't know. I think he would be good for him to have a child. You know, he's 45, childless. I mean, a child will change your life in every way. I mean, that child becomes the center of your universe. You know, it changes a person. It really does. They would show up at my house only once. Yeah, John, I agree. You know, they wouldn't show up at my house. They might show up, but they're not gonna show up more than once. Absolutely. Have a great day, Stan. Cindy says. Thank you, Cindy. You too. What's the temperature out there in Arizona, Cindy? It is 19 degrees here. 19 degrees Fahrenheit. 5:50 in the morning. But as far as the slee stacks, that was just all I wanted to talk about. This show kind of reminded me of the current state of YouTube. People just low functioning people not having any sort of creative outlet for themselves. They don't do any sports, they don't do any activities. All they do is sit at home, wherever that may be. They could be homeless, living in a car, and they're out there trolling people, or they could be living in a trailer park, or they could be living in Nana's basement, and they're out there trolling people, and it's a sad state of affairs, because reality is going to catch up with all these people eventually. I think it will. 19 degrees in Rhode Island. Yeah, it's about the same here, man. 57, Cindy. Wow, that's balmy. That's nice. It won't get 57 probably until maybe March, late March, early April. We might get a couple nice days like that. But it's going to be cold the next few days here. Cody, I saw that. Crazy amazing. Everyone survived. You talking about the plane crash? Yeah, I saw that. It was a smaller jet. I think only 80 people on board. I think 3 people were gravely injured, is what the last thing I read, including a small child, which is horrific. Hopefully those folks will pull through. But that's the thing. You go on a plane, you're putting your safety in somebody else's hands. You really are. And even on the road, as much as I'm on the road every day, I see these fucking lunatics, weaving in and out of traffic, no regard to other people. And you just kind of got to let them go by you. Hope they don't hit you, and hope they don't hit somebody else ahead of you, and then fucking tie you up in traffic for the next hour. Part of the problem is woke culture closed down all the sites trolls usually stayed on. Oh, okay. They got everyone out just for a big fireball erupted. Yeah, I saw that. Thank God everybody got out there, yeah. But, it just shows you, Mother Nature. My understanding is the plane landed and a wind gust or something flipped it over. It's a crazy world, man. But hopefully everybody has a good day today. Didn't get too many trolls today on Troll Tuesday. Maybe you guys will show up next week. Spread the word to your other troll friends. And every Tuesday here is Troll Tuesday. Trolls are welcome here. I want you guys to hone your craft. Trolls are part of, YouTube. And, if you work them properly, they become part of the show and they bring in viewers. Because, people can't be too serious about themselves. If you troll me, I got no neck, this, that, and the other. That's fine. I don't care, But you gotta start somewhere, trolls. You might as well start on this small channel, before you go up the ladder and try to troll Mr. Beast or somebody. So anyway, that's about all I had today, guys. Spread the word, John. Absolutely. Tuesday is Troll Tuesday. So, guys, next week, bring your troll friends and we'll have a fun time here. Try to give me something to read that's funny, And sometimes they'll trip me up. They'll have me reading something and and they'll say like knee grow. Oh shit. But yeah, I'm all for that, man. It's just a random guy podcast. I'm a random guy on here for a half hour, 40 minutes or so, It's about 5 of 6. I got to get going, guys. I got to put the gas in the tank. I'm down to 1/4, so I got to fill up my tank. And then I got to head off for work. So everybody have a great day. And, you know, I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care, man.